Hi there, my name is Jackson Hamp, and this is the project that I worked on. I made Rate a Dad Joke using the iCanHas Dad Joke API. And this is just kind of what it does. It grabs a random dad joke, and then I can leave a nice review, like ha 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 ha, and I can get a new joke, and it'll save the joke to local storage down here. Um, that's so funny. And we see that it just keeps on adding them, and if I reload it, then we see that it maintains um, because it's all saved in here under jokes. So the code for it is fairly simple. I had some issues getting the API to call properly, and I had some issues with um, clearing my browser cache, causing it to fail for a while. And I'm not entirely sure what I did to fix it, but I fixed it. But just to kind of show how this all works, we have the standard. We just have a simple web page and some simple styles. I'm not too great at that, but what we do have is down here we start with a try function, and this is just um, if the user has never used it before, this will throw an error. The for each will throw an error. So if we throw the error, then we just redefine the list as nothing. But if the user has been there before, we just get all of the jokes from local, which just saves parses the JSON that is stored in local storage. And it just, for each joke, we just write it down below in a new element, which is this function up here. We create the elements and append them all together nicely so that we can store them on the web page. Um, other than that, we are going to write joke, which is the function I'll show in a second that uh, gets the new joke. It gets it from the API and writes it down for the user to view. So we get that initial joke up at the top of the screen, and then we add an event listener for a new joke. Now, new joke, kind of a parent function, it just calls a whole bunch of other functions. The first thing it does is it saves the joke, the current joke that's at the top of the screen. So it saved this, and it saves whatever is in this text area. Um, and we can see that up here. We just turn it into an object, and then we push it to our array, which we saw was defined down in the catch statement. Um, and we push it to local storage so that each time we hit the button, we're making sure that local storage stays updated just in case they exit out of their session or they reload the page or whatever it may be. And then we return that object because we wanted to save it. Um, and we save it in joke, and then we pass it to the write joke below function, which I kind of already showed. It just uh, or no, not this function, the write joke below, like I showed earlier. And then the next thing we do is we call toLocal, and what this does is, like I said, we push the joke to the array, the list that was defined in the catch statement, or that is pulled from the local storage, and we just push it up to the local storage here. Um, and then finally we call write joke, and what write joke does is it's an async function, so what it's doing is it's calling this fetch joke, which is essentially just we're just calling the API and returning the JSON, and then taking that JSON where we then get the element that it's going to go into, and we just set the text content to the joke um, text that we received back from that API call. So pretty simple when explained like that. Essentially, we are just getting a joke, and then whenever they hit this button, we take this text and this text and we save it down here, and we also save it in local storage, and we get a new joke, and we empty this area so that it's ready for them to review the next dad joke. So that's my project.